Hey, what's up guys? So just like I did in the last video, the first half of this video will be the usual training vlog. So if you're only interested in the training section, you can stop about halfway through. The second half is the continuation of my camping vlog where I just show you guys some of the stuff I ate and some of the things I did. So moving on, this is the intensification phase of the 5s wave, which calls for 4 sets of 5 with 77.5% of your training max. Now, the training max is supposed to be lower than your real max. So speaking in terms of my real max, this would probably be only around 70%. On the first few sets, the Rogue Ohio Power Bar that I usually use wasn't available, so I just used this crappy one here. But I got through these sets just fine. The knurling on the bar is pretty important for me on the bench because I like to sort of pull the bar apart as I pull the bar down into my chest. So grip is pretty important. This is the last set here, and by this point I got to use the power bar, as you can see. I got 10 reps on this AMRAP set, which isn't too bad. I definitely could have gotten more, but I didn't want to start grinding, and I'm guessing I could have got at least maybe 12 if I went all out. However, for these training sessions, it's really important to keep your distance from failure, and you guys will see exactly why later on in this video. So during the intensification phase, you're supposed to stay 1 to 2 reps shy of failure, and I think I pretty much hit that exactly with this set here. You can see that the bar moved fairly well, and because I didn't give it everything I had on bench, the rest of the workout went pretty well and wasn't compromised. So moving on to the arnold press, it's actually starting to feel really challenging, and I might have to drop the weight down. With the standard dumbbell shoulder press, I can feel a stretch reflex at the bottom of the lift, and also I can kind of support my triceps with my lats, if that makes any sense. But without those two things, plus the increased range of motion, I think the arnold press is much more difficult than the standard dumbbell shoulder press. And it's supposed to recruit your medial delts a little bit more, but I don't quite feel that. However, I do feel more upper chest involvement from the lower starting position of the arnold press. And that's also why I always make sure to touch the bar to my chest when doing overhead press as well, to allow the upper chest to join in on the fun. Weighted dips, I think this is the most weight I've ever used. So the dip used to be my secondary exercise on bench days, and even then I don't think I ever went this heavy, so this must be some sort of PR. And I just really love dips. They just totally feel badass. I do more tricep isolation work afterwards, but I really credit whatever strength and muscle gains I've made so far to compound exercises like the dip. So now moving on to the OHP. Heading to the gym that day, I had not eaten that much. I had a lot of work, I was a bit stressed out, not enough sleep. Basically things were just not optimal, but instead of listening to my body, I completely ignored it and just zeroed in on the weights and basically had tunnel vision. All I could think of was just trying to destroy this weight. And even though this weight looked like it moved fine, it actually felt really, really heavy. And these may not look like grinders, but I think a lot of you will agree with me that you don't really grind on OHP the same way you do with squats or deadlift. So even if on video the bar speed looks okay, doesn't look too tough, what you actually may feel during the exercise may be completely different. And here's the AMRAP set here. So on top of dealing with some life stress, I was also dealing with the frustration of dealing with my injury and just being really, really pretty much angry at how slow the recovery process is going. So it's actually been a huge detriment to my overall confidence. Like I'm actually pretty upset by it. And so as I was going through the set, I was just getting fueled up on that anger, and all I could focus on was just trying to get another rep and another rep and another and another, and kind of just ignoring how heavy it felt. And I just remember in the moment just thinking to myself, like, over and over again, how much I needed this. I felt like I really needed to push it to get a lot of reps in, to try to really progress, to really get near my limits, to see what my body was capable of. I was just basically sick of the feeling of having to hold myself back because my body isn't in the condition that I want it to be, and I think I was just trying to prove something to myself. And in being so focused on getting to that AMRAP set, I misread the program and did 3 sets instead of 4. So when I remembered, I tagged on another set. So that's what you're seeing here. I had to clean the weight up. But going back to what I said in my previous video, I was basically forcing it and just pushing myself too close to failure, all just for one exercise and for one set. And what that did was mess up the rest of my training. So all my other lifts felt way, way heavier than usual, and I had to grind and use shit form to get through them. This is close grip bench here, and this is only 200 pounds, but on every single set, I was in fear of being crushed. And before setting up for each set, I had to basically prepare myself mentally for how I would try to bail out if I failed. But I was still being stubborn at that point and wanted to stick rigidly to the plan. So this is 200 pounds, and it's supposed to be challenging, but it wasn't supposed to be that hard. And this is the last set here. I don't even know how I got through this. The first few reps kind of flew by like fine, but you'll see in a second that my ass will lift off. Basically, my ass lifted off at some point for every single set because that was the only way that I could get the rep up. For the dumbbell incline press, I eventually smartened up and reduced the weight, but only after having failed the first set. I had to drop the weight down from 80 down to 70. So overall, the quality of the rest of my training session was compromised. I had to reduce the weights, I had to use shit form and therefore risk injury and ingrained bad habits, and I dug myself into a huge recovery hole that I had to climb out of for the following day. So not only did this session get compromised, but the following ones did as well. All because I had tunnel vision and lost focus of the bigger picture. So my message that I would like to share to you guys for this video is don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Think of training holistically, and don't get caught up on one particular exercise for one particular set for one particular moment in time, and then sacrifice everything else for it. Especially when you're in a building phase, save it for when it actually counts for something like at a meet, and lastly, but most importantly, don't ever forget to put your goddamn weights away! Time for lunch. We got a nice looking beef salad here, a couple of clam chowder, some coleslaw, fish and chips, and we're in Cape Cod, so figured we'd try the fish. And yeah, this is not typical eating. This is not what I eat like every day, especially the fish. I rarely eat fish, but only once in a while, especially if I'm on vacation. If it's something that interests me, I'll go ahead and try it. I'm sitting right next to this mini golf place here. A nice little fountain over there. So here's something we always do. We always put hot sauce and tartar sauce. Boom. Ooh. It's kind of like cafeteria food. Alright, we demolished that. Now we worked our way up to the salad, and it's pretty goddamn good. What's inside of it? Beets, like gorgonzola. What kind of nuts are these? Pecan?
No, walnut.
Walnuts?
I don't know what these are.
Alright, we just finished eating. Pretty stuffed. I'm gonna finish that salad, but pretty sure I'm gonna be pooping red tomorrow. Buddy, come here. You guys, come here. Come here, let me holler. Come here for a second. Turkeys. Hey, paddle closer to them. Oh my god, turkeys! They go a little bit closer. Hey guys. Where? They're all turkeys. So fat asses.